Advice on going consistently viral and split testing. So to be able to go consistently viral, you have to make good content, right? But also have the right product to be able to go viral with. But most importantly, bro, you have to be scrolling every single day and just be on top of shit, bro. Be on top of trends, whether it's like organic dropshipping trends or just normal trends within, just the universe. You want to make sure you're on top of shit because it's a lot of information, right? And really what we have is, as humans at the end of the day, is like our knowledge, right? You can strip me from all the money today and tomorrow, plot me in the middle of fucking Africa, but I'll still be able to print with organic because I have all this knowledge. But how did I obtain that knowledge? Through information, right? And I was able to obtain that information through scrolling on my burner, right? Studying concepts, studying other YouTubers that were in the space, investing in mentoring, investing in a whole bunch of different communities and stuff to be on top of the game, right? Because at the end of the day, if you can't go viral, it's most likely because A, your content is shit, but also you probably just don't know better, right? You don't know what to do and you don't know what you don't know, right? So again, if you're equipped with the right knowledge, the right skill sets, you're gonna be able to go viral a lot more frequently than you think, right? And that, like I said, if you're able to go viral with the right product, lead all that traffic to your website, you're gonna make money, right? But again, there's multiple different benefactors, multiple different things that compile to this machine of organic dropshipping, right? And again, most of the time, if you're not able to go viral consistently, you're not on top of trends. You're not able to flip that switch and find a new concept to target or another marketing angle, right? Because like I said, if you're one-dimensional, right? If you're a one-dimensional organic dropshipper, right? You think like, okay, I'm gonna run this product and only target period cramps. And then you have your elite, right, organic dropshipper that not only targets the period cramp, right, but also is gonna target anemics, but he's also gonna target book girls. He's gonna get creative with the marketing angles, right? Because, okay, maybe book girls don't work, but I can get into the office girlies that work from home, right? The stay-at-home moms, right? So you have to be creative, but the only way you can get creative is by surrounding yourself with information. And that is going to include you scrolling every day. Like the second you wake up, get on your phone and start looking at your burner, start looking at different trends that you can literally synthesize to your brain and be like, oh, can I run this with my product? And most of the time you can, bro. Most of the fucking time you can. All right, and lastly, split testing, right? Split testing is one of the main things that you need to know as an organic dropshipper, especially on Meta, right? Both Instagram and Facebook. If you don't know how to split test, you're not gonna be able to have that sort of longevity, right? So let's say you have a video that hit 300,000 views, right? Really good demand. It boosted like your whole entire account, but you wanna be able to replicate that day in and day out, right? What you have to notice is that there are ways to manipulate that video and make different versions of that video, right? So let's say you were running the heated robe, right? Because again, that's all I've been talking about this fucking video. And you do like a POV text hook, right? You said POV, the perfect gift for your anemic mom, right? And that did it phenomenal, right? One thing that I like to personally do is just only change the text hook while still keeping the same concept. And so instead of just saying that, I would say POV, the perfect gift for your anemic mom this Mother's Day, right? Some shit like that. Just adding a little bit of a different twist to it, right? Nothing crazy. We're still keeping the same concept. We're still targeting moms, but we're switching it up a bit, right? And so I would switch the text hook. I would keep the same clips going. Obviously, I would re-record those clips, maybe in a different background so it's not so identical. And most of the time, it's going to go viral, right? But let's say we wanted to go deep. And so let's say instead of targeting moms, we could just target girlfriends, right? So you would keep that same POV, but instead of saying moms, just say girlfriends, right? And again, change up the clips a little bit, film them in different places, and bro, most of the time it will still go viral, right? But let's say the text hook just doesn't work, right? That method doesn't work. Then you would want to go into the audios that you use, right? Certain audios tend to make you go viral. So let's say you wanted to split test that audio. What you would do is start changing and testing different audios within that niche or, a viral audio, right? And most of the time, if you switch the audio while keeping everything else the same, it'll do the job, right? But again, it's a matter of just split testing one variable at a time until you find like your winning variables. And then that's how you are able to split test for months sometimes, right? Because like I said, I start with the text hook, then I move on to the audio, then I move on to the backgrounds, then I move on to the hand movements, then I move on to the duration of the video. There's so many different things you can split test. But like top of mind, like I said, like your best bet is going to be slightly switching the text hook while still keeping the same concept. Then you can kind of switch up the marketing angle a little bit as well while you're doing that. Then you can start testing different audios with the same concept, same everything. And then if that doesn't work, you move on to different backgrounds, different hand movements, right? And there's so many ways to do it. and again, it's a whole skill. But again, if you guys want to learn more about that, just go ahead and watch some of my old YouTube videos on split testing, because I do explain it very, very well in that video, because there's also different ways to split test on TikTok as well. That's just completely different than the meta, right? But yeah, it's a whole ass skill, bro.